These are some amazing hacks that I learned with the first year with my baby, especially sticking to things being more natural and holistic. So he's turning 1 here in about a week. And something that has really helped me, and this might help any mama or parent, is for them to sleep better through the night instead of giving him like milk, or giving him like, I don't know, milk, I guess you could say. We started doing this a while ago. We make smoothies, and my thing was I didn't want to give him food because sometimes he like stores it in his cheeks, and I was like, I don't like to give him food like right before bed or like within an hour of bed because I feel like he stores food in his mouth. And we started doing this, I want to say around 7 months, making smoothies, and we found that he actually sleeps an extra like 2, 3, 4 hours on top of like what he was already sleeping. So like, for example, if he was sleeping like 4 hours and then waking up and wanting to feed, when we make him smoothies, we found that he would sleep like 6 hours, some nights 8 hours, some nights he's sleeping like 9 hours. So that's just one hack that we did find. Another hack that we have found with our son is that if we are going to go anywhere with him, to just have a bag already packed. And most parents already have this, but having 2 separate bags is a really good idea. We have one bag with all the essentials that we know that we need, that we leave in one of the cars, like the car that we normally use to go places, we leave it in that vehicle. And then the other bag is my bag. So I'm normally the one who's with him. I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I bring that bag on top of having the other bag whenever we go anywhere. And that just ensures that we have an extra change of clothes, we have an extra baba that's empty, we have some extra formula, we have some extra, like a toy in there, and that just makes it so we're not somewhere and we're like, oh man, he pooped through his diaper and we don't have any extra clothes. Oh wait, we have it in the spare bag. Another hack that we have learned is if we go somewhere, for example, for a like an event or birthday party, or just even going visiting the parents, grandparents, friends, whatever, we bring his pack and play and we bring some toys. It's a super easy thing to just bring. And from like even like 6-ish months, it was an easy way for him to have his own independence and kind of do his own thing. But he was also happy because he's got familiar toys with him and he can kind of pull himself up and do all that kind of fun stuff. Another thing that I do, which I find it helps him actually learn faster, is I let him do things that he can't really get hurt doing, but might get a little bumped up doing. Meaning, like, I'll let him stand up by the window by himself, and I'll tell him, be mindful of your feet, be mindful of your butt. If you fall, put your butt back. And I showed him a couple times how to fall. And teaching your baby how to fall is actually, in my opinion, more beneficial than being overly protective and trying to prevent them from falling, because they're going to fall regardless. But teaching them how to fall is more preventative from actually getting like a big boo-boo or a ouchie. And that's something I learned from my my skateboarding coach. The number one thing I learned how to do when I was learning how to skateboard was, he said he's going to teach me how to fall, because you're going to fall no matter what. So that was something we did with Grant, and we got him to learn how to fall. So now when he does fall, he literally just falls back on his butt, and I hope that's how he continues to fall. So that was really, really helpful. And then also something that was really, really helpful and is still very helpful is being mindful of what words I use. So instead, I try my hardest not to say no unless it's an absolute, like I still don't really even use it. I can't even like think of something that I have or do use it with. Like when he hits, because babies do that, we grab his hands and we say, gentle. We don't hit in this family. We do not hit. That is not nice. We're nice with our hands, and we try to just show and encourage a behavior rather than trying to focus on the behavior we're not trying to do. We just focus on the behavior we're trying to do. And that has actually made the learning curve much faster and I think more enjoyable for him. So encouraging a behavior, a positive behavior, rather than focusing on what not to do, that has been beneficial. And then this might sound kind of funky or funny, but for his solid foods, he has his foods he really likes, and then he has his foods where he kind of tolerates, and then he has his foods that he like just doesn't want to eat, like for whatever reason. And sometimes he'll have foods that he likes, but then randomly he just doesn't want to eat them. And I have found that this really helps. If you find something that your baby really likes, like my baby really likes peanut butter. He loves it. He just likes peanut butter a lot. He loves peanut butter, strawberries, berries. Those are like his things. So like if I'm giving him chicken and he's like not wanting chicken, I'll put some peanut butter on it and kind of like coat it in a very little bit of peanut butter. And so when he smells it, he smells the peanut butter. And when he eats it, he tastes the peanut butter. But he's eating chicken. So that has been a huge thing. He is sleeping in his crib or his own bed through the night now. And this is something that has really helped with that. We put a pillow next to him. So I think he's gotten used to me cuddling him to sleep. So we put a pillow next to him and we just put one of our hands on his face, and he seems to be able to fall asleep and stay asleep really well with that. And then prior to that, like I said, having the smoothie, that has helped him stay asleep longer because he's not getting hungry as quick. And let's see, other hacks that we have learned. So if there's a song that really calms your baby down, if your baby's an active baby like my baby, I've learned that singing that song during a diaper change can buy me like a good 4 minutes. And as we all know, that if you have a baby that likes to flip, that's great, because if they do a poo-poo, that can be like so tiring, and changing diapers can be exhausting. So figuring that out as to how to keep them just calm and focused and okay with just like getting through this, and then you can flip over and climb the mountains, is great. That's a great learning thing for me as a mother. Other hacks that we have found are, let's see, his walker is great. He enjoys it, but to get him to actually put his foot flat, we let him go around and learn for himself, unless it is truly actually dangerous. Then we say, ouchie, which has become the universal for like, that's ouchie. But we only use it for like specific things. Like, we're not going to say ouchie, don't do that. If he is standing up, holding on to a table, because ultimately he'll fall on his butt. We might say, be mindful. And I think he knows, like, okay, go slow. But if we say, ouchie, he knows, like, I should not be touching that. And he kind of looks like, oh, because we use that very rarely. And yeah, I think that's really the bigger things. I'm sure I'll think of other ones and make another video, but these are some things that have really helped me in the parenting process. He has found books that he really likes, and I will just read them over and over and over to him. I also read to him my books that I'm reading. I just read them out loud to him. They say it doesn't really matter. It's just the different words and the diversity in words that they hear that is important. And getting outside time, like daily, is very important. And days like today, like we normally would walk outside in the morning, in the middle of the day, and in the evening, and it's raining here. So today we're gonna go to the mall and walk around, and they have a library at the mall, so we'll just go check it out there, hang out a little bit. Yeah, and that's I think a lot of good things that I've learned with my son that have really helped through a lot of the learning curves for me and a lot of the learning curves for my son, and make them more swift and more of a good adjustment into this is how that's done, and what's the next phase for that, right? Because the faster your baby learns how to tell you they're unhappy or learns how to do something, the faster they'll learn the next thing, right? So if someone's going around telling their baby don't do that and preventing them from doing things because they might get kind of a bump or something, you're really just preventing them from learning how to navigate that. So letting them, but not letting them get hurt. There's a huge difference. If it's very like actually dangerous, or they might fall on their butt. It's okay to let them fall on their butt. They learn that they fall on their butt. But I think it's also important to teach them how to fall. I do think that's important to do. Yeah, those are the main things I can think of. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that has really helped me or my son. We talk things through with my son, and we practice being loving in front of him. And if we do have a conflict, we don't argue. That's not something my partner and I do. We practiced out of that. We have argued. I'm not saying we've never argued. We've definitely argued, but we've learned that if we do that, that's how he'll communicate when he has a disagreement. And we have to show him that you can disagree and it can be okay, and you can both come to an understanding, so you at least understand each other and come to some sort of mutual agreement. And that agreement might not be his way, and it might not be my way. In fact, it probably won't be his way, and it probably won't be my way, but it'll be a way that we can both do and that we're both good with. And that's great. But having him see that, it's very important for us, so he knows there's no escalation in disagreement or conflict. Disagreeing is okay. You don't have to run away from it. You don't have to get elevated over it. So that's something we actually learned through the process of becoming parents, is when we do have a disagreement, how to have a healthy disagreement and how to have healthy communication was something that we really deeply learned throughout my pregnancy, because we both wanted that to be something that he learned in a healthy way. So we actually changed how we go about that, which is weird because it's so much easier now. So it's I wish we would have done that way long ago, but it is what it is, and it's good now, and he's learning a good way to communicate through that. But yeah, we did this was another hack that we just learned kind of recently, was for his bed, we put the teeth biting guard. It's a fabric thing you put over the sides of the crib, because he likes to bite it, and he was kind of biting pieces of the wood off, which is not a healthy thing, I'm guessing. So we did that, and they worked great. So that was a good thing. Hiccup. Yeah, and from what we've learned and researched, babies thrive on routine. So we stick to a pretty firm routine every morning, where we wake up, he has a smoothie, we work out, he hangs out with us, we sing the ABCs in that workout phase, and then daddy goes to work, mommy and him hang out, we might read a book, we go for a walk, and come back, and then we read books, and then he might take a nap, and that's kind of our morning routine. And then the evening we have the same thing, where we have a routine where 4 o'clock we get everything lined up and everything squared away, which normally isn't much because we clean things up as they happen, because that's what we want him to do, and that's just what we're doing. But 4 o'clock we just tidy up a little, and then we make dinner, and then daddy's home, and then daddy and Grant have an hour where they literally, it's just them. Like, no phones, no nothing. They wrestle, they play, they go outside, they'll put their feet in the grass, whatever they do, but it's like no phone, no TV, just them interacting. About an hour after he comes home, that's what they do for an hour, and it gives me time to just like, I don't know, stare at a wall and meditate and maybe like take a shower if I want, or go for a walk by myself. I did that a couple days ago, just walk around by myself, you know, just kind of do me and just have my own little time. And then by the time I come back, his dad made his baba already, and we're winding down for the evening. And then he has his nighttime smoothie baba at like 8 o'clock, and he's normally like asleep by like 8:45. Because after he has his smoothie, we read his nighttime book, which is the same book every night, and then we all go to bed, and we'll put him in his crib. And sometimes it takes a couple times to, you know, because he'll stand up and he'll look and just kind of be like, and then we hug him. We don't pick him up, we just hug him, and he calms down, and then put him back in his crib. And sometimes we don't have to do that at all. Sometimes we have to do it like 3, 4, 5 times. That's rarer and rarer, because he's more and more seeing like he's confident enough and safe enough and fine, and he'll just go to sleep sometimes now. So these are just some little hacks that have really helped me and my son. So if they can help you, great, awesome. And you guys are doing awesome. Stick with it. If you're here, that means you are literally looking for things that are going to make your parenting and your child's childhood easier, better, all the good things. Have an awesome day, and I'll talk with you guys soon.